Well, hi everybody. How are you guys tonight? Oh my goodness. Well, it is good to be here. It is so good to be here. Linda has a new color on her avatar. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Kind of a rose pink kind of color. Nice. Hi, Linda. And Tamara is here. Yay! And so is Fatima. Hi, Fatima. Nice to have you guys here. There's Larry. Yay, Larry is here. And crossing your fingers. So I got the new Mac Studio set up. There's still, I've been on the phone today with Apple a while. I got the half an hour appointment that's supposed to be the walkthrough of fun things to do, and like that. And I was like, that's not really what I need. I need somebody to figure out why it double things. So yeah, then they were having some issues on their end on sound, but it will get resolved. And I kind of have an idea what to do now. But yeah, so that took moving a lot of things, a whole lot of things. And I put a different lens on this camera, which makes me kind of feel like I'm way too close to you guys. Like, oh, hello. Let's go back to here and see if I can back myself up a little bit. Oh, there we go. Back up, back up, back up. Back, Gretchen. Back. Um, we always did that in the classroom with back bird. When somebody got too close, we'd go back. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. And Bob was out and about today in Seattle, so I was here supposedly getting things done. So much for that. Not your choice. I like it though. Linda says it's not her choice with the color. Huh. You could put a picture of yourself in there if you wanted. Or an avatar or a painting or a picture of anything, Anyway, so tonight, I just literally, Bob got home and we ate and both of us fell asleep sitting on the couch watching a thing about Georgia O'Keeffe. Fascinating woman, by the way. Fascinating. Really. So many layers to that woman. So amazing. So today is February 1st here in the States. Tamara, I know it's tomorrow. It is the official start of Black History Month here in the United States. And I had picked up some books that on different artists and everything, and it kind of just fit in with what to do and what to show tonight. And I wanted to show some other books besides the one I'm going to read first. Oops, there goes my water bottle. There's 3 books that I saw that I thought you guys might just be interested in. I'm going to read that one. It is the maybe, is that the one I'm reading? Yes. I'll pull them over here. And also my little overhead, my old iPhone decided it didn't want to work as well with the studio for an overhead camera, so I had to put my own phone up there. We'll see how that goes. All right, no thank you, no pictures, not even a picture, not of your, like a painting or a picture of a flower or something. Have a hat with an ostrich feather like the one that Puss in Boots wears. Oh, that would be good. That would be good. Yeah. So, where am I? I moved a couple things. All right. So here we're going to go to this overhead. So these are some books that I picked up at the library. And We Are Artists. I wanted to show you a couple of these. I mean, this one is Women Who Made Their Mark in the World. This is all women artists. And it goes everybody from Kinawash Kawubak from Canada, and First Nation, all the way through. There's an artist from Australia, Emily Kame, and I could not possibly. Oh, and that's not very. Is not very focused in, huh? Hang on. Okay, and all kinds of different ones. So it's got some nice. It's a nice book to look at. It's got information about the artist, and then um, some pictures of theirs. So I thought I would show a couple of them since I'm doing this. There's the George O'Keeffe one. This is Faith Ringgold, which I read a book by her to you guys at one time. It says, I've always known that the way to get what you want is don't settle for less. I always knew I would be an artist. And it says, Faith Ringgold, Stitching History. They called it Tar Beach. It wasn't like any other beach you might imagine. It was hard, a black rooftop that gave off that warm and tacky smell of hot asphalt. Beyond was a noisy sea of skyscrapers, bridges, and apartment blocks with waves of taxis and cars starting at traffic lights far below. That is from the book Tar Beach. That is a children's picture book that won a Caldecott. And it is To Faith from Rooftop in the Harlem, New York, was as magical as any beach the world might be. It was a place for dreaming. Faith and the other children would lie on a mattress on warm summer nights and gaze across the glittering city to lights of the George Washington Bridge while their parents sat around an old green table playing cards. Up there they felt invincible, like anything was possible. And they would dream of flying and touching the stars that seemed to rain down up around them. And so it talks about her mom, Will Posey, was a fashion designer, and Faith's dad, Andrew, was always telling stories, and people came and went, constantly chatting over tea and scraps of fabric. And she went on to do all this beautiful work. And she said, one day she realized that she'd always been surrounded by forms of women art. Quilting and needlework had been a huge part of their lives, of the women in her family. Right back to the great-great-great-grandmother who was a slave had created quilts to keep her own family warm. Knowledge and tradition had been passed down from mother to daughter, and now it was her turn. With her mother's help, Faith created her first art quilt. After that, she created more and more. So Faith had always wanted to change things, not only as she created a new language in art, but she's written many children's books and started a foundation called Anyone Can Fly, which is devoted to teaching children and adults about African American masters of art. Her organization, called Where We At, encouraged other Black women to find their own artistic voices too. You can't sit around waiting for somebody else to say who you are, she said. You need to write it and paint it and do it. That's where the art comes from. So that was one in there. And then there was this other one, Alma Thomas, said, a world without color would seem dead. Color is life. The television set was flickering in the corner. There were so many people squashed in the tiny room that you couldn't lift a glass of iced tea to your lips without nudging someone with your elbow. There were few televisions in the neighborhood. Besides, when you were witnessing a great moment in history you'd want to share with the people you love. She says it was July 20th, 1969, and they were watching the moon. No, it was Alma was a human really going to fly to the moon? So she was a painter. She still, let's see. On and on, she dreamed of becoming an architect, and she was numeric and skilled in mathematics. Instead, in 1921, after being approached by Professor James Herring at Howard University, she chose to become one of the first students in its new art department. She became an art teacher. Though her art, Alma has made an important role model for women, African Americans, and older artists. In 1972, she was the first African American woman to have a solo exhibition in New York's Whitney Museum of American Art. She was invited to the White House by President Jimmy Carter, and years later, in 2009, two of her paintings were chosen by Michelle Obama to be hung in the White House. I read about her. So that's one of the cool books, that Women Artists A to Z. I might read tonight, or I might save for another night. I think I might say that because it just happened. And then this one is one called Black Artists Shaping the World, which is just a great book that talks about so many different people from all around. And it's not, obviously not a picture book, but from everywhere, just, and the different kind of art and how it came about, and how they developed their artistic talent. Here's the one on Tar Beach on Faith Ringgold. Yeah. So that's a great one. Anyway, those are some ones. Some of the things that I find for resources for us when we're going, when I'm trying to decide what to do. I showed her the macro photos. It took so. Oh. Nice. That's perfect. My grandmother gave me her camera when I was 10, so Ike is the right age. Anyway, so as we're going on through this tonight, whoa, sorry, seems scattered. I will get used to this new. I'm kind of a creature of habit, and then I change everything up on me, and boom, there it is. So the one that about Alma Thomas becoming an artist later in life and becoming an advocate for not only African American women and African American artists, but for older artists in general. This is a book that I'm reading tonight, is about an elderly artist, and it is written by Don Tate, who, let me show you. I'll go to here and pull that up. There we go. I read a book the other night by him, and I said I was going to show you some more. He has written a whole lot of books. The day Madeir voted, I watched a video about that. I'm looking forward to seeing when that one comes out. He based it on his publisher's mother's first time voting. And a lot of his other books, this William Still and his Freedom Stories, Father of the Underground Railroad. Oh my gosh. That's a longer book. I'm going to read that one night. It is beautiful. Really, really beautiful. But some of his work, his artwork, he's an artist also, but he didn't do the art for this particular book. And another book I'm going to read of his is From Pigskins to Paintbrushes, that I will be reading at one night too. I have that checked out. Books that he's done. See if they show up here. The Day Madeir Voted, Jerry Changed the Game, Roto and Roy, Pigskins to Paintbrushes. This is one I'm going to read. William Still. This is one I'd like to see. Swish, about the Harlem Globetrotters. Carter Reads the Newspaper. I think I read that to you guys. No Small Potatoes. Partay. So lots of things that he's done. And he also one of the founding hosts of the blog The Brown Bookshelf, a blog designed to push awareness of the myriad of African American voices writing for young readers. I need to show this blog to my friend Alicia. She's doing a blog similar, except about female artists and authors. He speaks at schools and public libraries. So the illustrator of this book is R. Gregory Christie, and Philip Reed Saves the Statue of Freedom. He's done several books also. This book, Bad News Outlaws, was a Caldecott and Coretta Scott King winner. The Champ Freedom in the Congo Square. Um, just a lot of books. Jazz Baby, I think I read Jazz Baby to you guys. And see some other ones. But his art style is so cool. Oops, that page is broken. We'll go back. Huh. Roots and Blues. That would be a good one. About music. Yeah, nice. Anyway, the book I'm reading tonight is called, let me get it here. It Just Happened. It Just Happened. And I am not happy with the... Hang on. Give me a second. I'm going to try to... Okay. I don't know why it's not as... Hey. Camera falling. Hang on just a sec. I'll go to another camera so you guys don't have to watch me mess with this. But... Okay. Well, we'll see how we go. There we go. Okay. This is When Bill Traylor Started to Draw. And I thought this was a really interesting book. And I'm going to flip it open so you can see better here. Another one of those little bits of history where Alma Thomas was able to get her books where it ended up being in, oftentimes in galleries and whatnot. This guy, well, not so much. Let's see. Oh, I have a Kodak, the one you look down into the viewer. Tamara, I have one of those sitting right behind me. Yeah, I do. There we go. Okay. It Just Happened When Bill Traylor Started to Draw by Don Tate and illustrated by R. Gregory Christie. It was early summer in Montgomery, Alabama in 1939. On downtown Monroe Avenue, an elderly man sat with a wooden on a wooden crate. With a board laid across his lap and a stub of a pencil grasped in his hand, he began to draw a picture on the back of a discarded laundry soap box. Who was this man? And what caused him to start drawing at the age of 85? His name was Bill Traylor, and if people had asked him, he might have said, "It just come to me." Back in the 1850s, George Hartwell Traylor and his wife owned a cotton farm near Benton, Alabama. The Traylors also owned more than 20 slaves. Sometime during 1854, one of the enslaved families had a baby boy. He was given the name Bill. His last name became Traylor, and the same as his master's. From the minute the sun lit the sky until it disappeared into the night, the slaves picked cotton in the hot, dusty fields. When Bill was old enough, he was put to work too, pulling weeds, fetching water, gathering wood. After he finished his chores, Bill sometimes met his friends at the bank of the Alabama River. They jumped into the cool water and waved at the steamboats passing by. Without realizing it, Bill saved up memories of these times deep inside himself. When the Civil War ended in 1865, the slaves were freed. Many people left their former masters, but Bill's family chose to stay on the Traylor's land. They worked as sharecroppers, farming and sharing their crops and profits with the people who had once enslaved them. Even though the war was over, Northern soldiers continued to burn many Southern farms, villages, and towns. Young Bill and his family watched in horror as the Traylor farm, equipment, and animals were destroyed. Bill's family managed to survive unhurt. They rebuilt their home and continued to work the land for many years. Bill saved up memories of these times deep inside himself. By 1881, Bill was a grown man, a hard-working farmer. He married a young woman named Larissa, and they lived in a small cabin by the creek. Soon their home was filled with a brood of hungry children. Money was scarce. You could have that building over there full of money, Bill once said, but you couldn't eat it. So everyone, even the littlest child, worked on the farm to grow the food they needed to fill their empty bellies. Bill saved up memories of these times deep inside. Bill had many animals, including a mule that helped him complete his chores. But sometimes that mule turned stubborn when Bill approached with his plow. Minute he sees a plow, he starts swinging back. Gets dat pride from his mama, Bill said, annoyed that the mule refused to work. The animals on the farm also amused Bill. He chuckled as he watched them go about their business. Chickens strutted in the yard with confidence. Cats tiptoed across rooftops with grace. Snakes slithered through the brush, always up to no good. Some animals even had personalities that reminded Bill of people he knew. Bill saved up these memories deep inside. Come Saturday night, the men danced to the tune of a fiddle while the women sang up a storm. Children ran back and forth, snapping their fingers to the beat of the music. Even owls in the trees bopped their heads to the music. After the festivities, the men took their dogs and went hunting and fishing until late into the night. And the next day, Bill roasted us sweet potatoes and whatever he'd caught and served them up for dinner. Sunday morning, folks gathered alongside the riverbank. Under the shade of tall trees, they formed a circle around the preacher and listened to his message in song. With praises of joy, they clapped and raised their hands to the sky. Bill saved up these memories deep inside. Bill spent a lifetime on the trailer's land. By 1935, he was 81 years old, way up in age, and all by himself. My white folks died and my children scattered, Bill said. His wife had died too. With the people he was close to gone, Bill had no reason to stay on the farm. He packed his bag and headed to the nearby city of Montgomery. Finding a job wasn't easy. Bill had never learned to read or write. His work on the farm hadn't prepared him for city life. Eventually, he found employment at a shoe factory at 81. But Bill developed painful rheumatism in his joints. Before long, he was forced to quit his job. For a while, Bill sold pencils provided to him by the U.S. government. He didn't make much money, and he soon became homeless. During the day, he wandered through downtown Montgomery. It was an exciting place to be. People bustled along, going in and out of the markets, shops, and restaurants. Automobiles and horse-drawn buggies rumbled through the streets. At night, Bill slept on the sidewalks, indoors or in alleyways, until the owners of the Ross Clayton Funeral Home befriended him. They offered Bill a place to sleep in the storage room of their business. He piled a bundle of rags on top of a wooden pallet, and there among the caskets, Bill rested his tired body. As he lay in the storage room at night, Bill was overcome with loneliness. He missed his family, his farm, his animals. Deep inside, he found all those saved-up memories of earlier times. Bill could not contain his memories. One day, in early 1939, he picked up the stub of a pencil on a piece of a discarded paper and began to pour out his memories in pictures. Bill's first drawings were simple items: cats, cups, shoes, baskets. Then he began to draw human and animal forms too. He used the side of a stick to rule straight lines and shapes. Rectangles became bodies. Circles became heads and eyes. Lines became outstretched arms, hands, and legs. He filled in shapes with sketchy lines and smoothed out edges. The sidewalk of Monroe Avenue became Bill's art studio. A wooden crate was his artist bench. Scrap cardboard and old paper cartons were his canvases on which he drew his pictures, and the clang, clang, clang from the nearby blacksmith shop provided background music for Bill while he worked. Folks of all ages came to watch Bill work. One of his admirers taught Bill to write his name. Soon he was proudly signing his drawings. Bill often hung his pictures on a nearby fence. When passerbys asked questions about his drawings, Bill didn't mind. He could be quite talkative, but if Bill was focused on his work, he offered no conversation at all. One summer morning in 1939, a young artist named Charles Shannon caught sight of Bill sitting on his crate drawing. Charles was intrigued as he watched Bill's hand make its marks, then fill them in. Bill's pictures danced with rhythm unlike any drawings Charles had seen. Sorry. Charles began visiting Bill regularly and wanted to support his work. He brought Bill art supplies, colored pencils and paintbrushes, poster paints, and high-quality paper, but Bill liked to do things his own way. He used the colored pencils and some of the paints, but he continued to work on the backs of discarded bags, signs, and cardboard boxes. Bill's hands were steady and confident. He was not concerned about messing up, and he almost never erased. When painting, he favored a rich, spare palette of colors: deep blues, bright reds, sunny yellows, and earth browns. He used paint straight from the jar and rarely mixed colors together. Soon Bill moved to a shady spot on North Lawrence Street. There he continued to pour out his memories, often drawing until late in the day. He drew wide-eyed owls, a big red dog, and fighting cats. He sketched spotted snakes and hunters on horseback. Sometimes Bill talked about his pictures. "I wanted to be plowing so bad today, I drawed me a man plowing," he said. "Bird on top of the basket and he don't know it." Bill joked about one of his humorous pictures. Bill also drew people he saw on the streets of Montgomery: men in tall hats and women in patterned dresses, folks walking dogs, and a man with a crutch. He drew the blacksmith shop and blacksmithing tools arranged in rows. When people paid him a few cents for one of his pictures, Bill was amused. "Sometimes they just buy 'em when they don't even need 'em," he remarked. Charles Shannon so admired Bill's work that he arranged for a show of Bill's drawings and paintings. The exhibit, Bill Traylor, People's Artist, was held at the New South Art Gallery on February 12, 1940. About 100 of Bill's works hung on the walls of the gallery. Bill moved slowly from picture to picture without saying much. Finally, he pointed his cane at one of the paintings and said, "This old horse, he's fat. But this poor old skinny mule here, he done work all his life." None of Bill's art sold that day, but that didn't bother Bill. Money was not the motivation behind his drawings. Bill drew pictures for himself to enjoy the saved-up memories of his life. He didn't know his pictures would also bring enjoyment to others, but without realizing it, Bill Traylor shared his memories with the world. And here is an afterword. It was reported that when Bill Traylor visited the exhibit of his work in the New South Art Gallery, something just happened there. In the New South Art Gallery, he walked around the room and occasionally commented on the artwork as though he had never seen any of it before. After Traylor returned to North Lawrence Street, he never mentioned the exhibition again. Charles Shannon was born 1914 to 1996, was born in Montgomery, Alabama. He studied in the Cleveland School of Art, and while there, he became interested in painting the culture of the South, especially that of African Americans. After moving back to Alabama, Shannon met Bill Traylor in 1939, and within a couple of weeks began bringing him art supplies. Over the next 3 years, Traylor created somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 drawings and paintings. Shannon continued to support Traylor by purchasing many of his works. Shannon arranged for a second exhibit of Traylor's drawings at the Fieldston School of Ethical Culture in Riverdale, New York, in January 1942. The Museum of Modern Art in New York City attempted to purchase 16 drawings from the exhibition, but Shannon rejected the museum's offer of only $1 or $2 per piece. In June 1942, Shannon was drafted into the military, where he served until 1946. During that time, Traylor drifted among the homes of various relatives throughout the country. The rheumatism in his left leg became worse, which led to gangrene and then amputation. After his wound healed, Traylor went back to his spot on North Lawrence Street. By the time Shannon returned to Montgomery, Traylor's health had deteriorated even more. Traylor had left his place on the street and was living with one of his daughters in another part of the city. Disheartened and uninspired, Traylor continued to draw, but his pictures lost their spark. He died in October 1949 at the age of 95. For many years, Charles Shannon kept Bill Traylor's art in storage because of lack of public interest. By the late 1970s, Shannon decided it was time to share Traylor's drawings with the art world again. As a result, in 1982, Traylor's work was exhibited at the Corcoran Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. The exhibition, entitled Black Folk Art in America, 1930 to 1980, included 36 of Traylor's pictures and led to wide recognition of his work. Since then, Bill Traylor has come to be regarded as one of the most important self-taught American folk artists of the 20th century. His pictures are also considered to be outsider art, work created by a person without formal training, who lives on the edge of established culture and society and works outside the mainstream art world of schools, galleries, and museums. Exactly why Bill Traylor started to draw remains a mystery. Perhaps the ability to draw was within him his entire life, surfacing when circumstances made it possible. Whatever the reason, on a city sidewalk far away from his rural home, Bill Traylor recreated his life with imagination, humor, and engaging simplicity. Bill Traylor, The Man with Umbrella and Suitcase, 1939. It just happened. Ah, such a great one. I wonder. Let's see. I wonder if there is any. Let's see. Oh my. Okay. Here we go. Go to this screen share. Here. This is from the Smithsonian Museum of Art. Yeah. Bill Traylor, born near Pleasant. Has some information about him. Here's some of his works, Untitled, Mule. There's a video about him, or some of the works. there's another video that the Smithsonian American Art Museum has about him. Very cool. Those won't play through for you because I didn't pull them in as a widget. But look at that. This one was done in 1939. It's a 23 by 14 inch. Wow. Pencil on paperboard. Wonderful. I wonder what size this one is. 15 by 11 and a half. Nice. Very cool. There I am. All right. What did Fatima say? Yes. Let's see. Back up. I missed. So the camera that I was telling you about, that Tamara said she had one that she looked down, is like this one. This is one of those look down, everything's upside down kind of thing. Yeah. The Kodak's Duoflex 2 with the Kodet lens. That one. And then the big thing over there in the brown case is a big old Polaroid. Polaroid swinger. Ooh, that's cool. It's Charlie, a tuna camera from Starkist. I had to eat tuna. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? That's so cool. Oh my goodness. Oh, I would have eaten tons of tuna fish for that. That's amazing. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'll check after the story. Larry, okay, Larry sent something to Linda. I'm at. Oh yeah, exactly. Very true. It's really. Whoa. Oh, hold it. Something happened. Whoa. Why did that go to green screen? Pop that off. That was funny. That was funny. Yes, you do need to say that to yourself, what Fatima said. It's what's in your heart that counts. Just believe. Exactly. Fatima's our wisdom bringer tonight. I love that. Charlie tuna camera was about that size. I was in 3rd grade. I still like tuna. One like that, and big Kodak with the bellows sticking out the front. I don't have the big Kodak bellows. I do. I have. No, this is the. That's not Grandma's. This one has bellows. See, but that's not Grandma's. This is. That's a Zeiss. This is another Zeiss. Grandma's is over here. Oh, Grandma's is up there. This one has bellows too. This is the one that my grandmother, see, it even has where I remember those tabs that you could punch out your names, how that they had a tape and you could punch on them and you turn the dial to get to the next letter and you put it and then you cut it off and you peeled that off. That was how we labeled this when I took it to camp. But yeah, this was her camera. This is a Kodak. This is the cool one. It's got the, is this the one with the, no, Aunt Susie's is the one that's like the Art Deco. That's in here. That's this one. It's got the Yeah, see, this is one. If you see this one, see how the lettering is almost kind of Art Deco-ish? There. Yeah. See that kind of fancy. That was a one that they came out with. This was my great aunt Susie's. And it has a bellow in there. I could pull it all out. And it has this really cool stylus that you used for writing on the film when it was in there. Oh, come on, come out of there. If I can get it to come out. There it is. So this little stylus thing, see that? There was this spot on the back of this camera, a window there, and you opened that window, and then you would scratch into the, on the back of the film, you would write like where you, what information you wanted, like what your exposure setting was, maybe what the f-stop was, maybe where you were, but you could put different pieces of information back there on the back of these big 120 films. And it still has the stylus with it. Oh, yeah, I love that. This was Aunt Susie's. She had the fancier one. She was fancy that way. Anyway, it's going to take me a little bit to get that closed up. Yeah. Partner with the local gallery at the K8 art show and auction. Our student art hung amongst local artists. A potter came to demo. That's, you know, I remember doing, having that, Fatima, at our school. We had local artists come. It was an artist in residence celebration day, an art day, and they would come to some. One year we did it where an artist set up in different in each different classroom, and then another year we set it up with them in the gym. And my mom came over one year, and Mom and Patty both came. And Mom came and did her weaving, and Patty came and did little toll painting type things. And then our superintendent at that time was a wood carver, and he was so he had set up, and other different painters and artists. We had all these people, and so throughout the whole day, the kids would come in and get to see everybody, but they also got to interact and participate and do different projects with different ones. It was just an amazing thing to do. It was great fun. It was part of a whole week long of art and writing and all kinds of celebrations of that type of thing. I missed that was a great thing to do. Anyway, you guys, that's it for stories tonight. Just the one. I apologize for the little bit of out of focus on that. I'm not quite sure what that was or why things. I'm getting things back to normal. We'll get it straightened out just bit by bit. But anyway, I will be back on Sunday, hopefully with some of your art. Please, 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 please send some stuff in. Oh, I don't need that soap right there. Oof. Yeah. Send things in. We'll do Sunday night, and that will be wonderful. I have done a couple of things. Been playing, haven't too much, but I found I got really kind of trying to get this all set up. I found sitting down and just picking up my sketchbook and drawing, and I ended up like drawing a picture, like trying to draw Bob wearing his, what we call his Elmer Fudd hat when it's really cold. It's one of those big kind of burly hats that has the fuzz around it and has things. Anyway, my girls gave it to him. They call it the Elmer Fudd hat. And I was doing these crosshatch sketches, and it kind of ended up in the shape of the hat, and I ended up trying to do, it's just ridiculous. But I found that's kind of got me through a couple of the really stressful times of getting this whole setup done and put back together right and things like that. So yeah, but I'd like to see some things that you're doing. I watched Julie E today. I haven't watched any fluid art for a while, so it was fun to watch that. So send in your stuff. Let me see what you're doing. And on Sunday, I will be back. I have a book that's all done in collage. That's very cool. I want to read to you. And then I'll show you my collage that I did in collage group the other day. Yikes. That's pretty crazy. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the story. And these stories of these people that are older when they start, or they never got a chance to, and then, we got time, or never give up hope. It's kind of cool. I love it. And the fact, I love what he said, that he just did it for himself. And that's just great. Elmer Fudd hats are great. I had one. They are. We had, it was what Bob wore when we were in Yellowstone that winter, when it was February 2020, just before the pandemic, and it was minus 22. And boy, I tell you, that Elmer Fudd hat came in useful for him. Anyway, that's it for tonight. And I thank you for being here, for helping me on this day of getting all this stuff together and trying to get things to go. This was something I really looked forward to, when every other part of the day was kind of a struggle and a frustration. And so knowing that I could do this and read stories to you, and whether the tech was perfect or not, you guys would still be there and supportive. And I appreciate that so much. So until next time, everybody, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your mirror. And I'll see you Sunday night. Bye.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Ooh, feeling alright. We won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard. They're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards. I just need you by my side.
Somebody else is
We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow.
Am I is
You got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. You blow my mind. Look
Night, everybody.